two, 1, 2.
Fitness by
Mic check.
Nori is going down right here.
It's going down right here. They don't know nothing about us. They don't know nothing about us.
Okay.
Already.
Let me get your
Yeah. Yes.
Nori started.
Real. Um, mm, 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 mm.
All right, we're about to go down.
Uh-uh.
Ungum.
Exactly. Because last week, you ain't even tell me to spit my gum out.
Oh yeah. Let's get ready to do it. We in the house right now. We got Miss Butterfly Beast, Miss Butterfly Beast.
Oh my
Fitness by
God.
Nori is going down right here. The best in throwback hits radio. Yes. GFN Soul TV. GFN Soul NYC. It's going down right here. Today's topic is relational fitness. Ways to keep your woman happy, man.
Baby, when I tell you that you done just brought in this intro, did not know that we was spied up, none of that. Do you hear me?
Oh, no doubt.
But that's okay. Well, I like that beat.
Oh, yeah. It's like murder.
It's actually
Letting them know you coming hard.
it's letting them know that I'm coming in and I'm coming hard. But I love it because it's one of my favorite rappers, which is Meek Mills, and it's off of Dreams and Nightmares. So when they created that avatar for me, they gave me a couple of different, beats or whatever, and they was like, "Which one you like?" And I was like, "I really like this one. Something is real familiar about this beat or whatever." And Bree, my sister Bree, she was my assistant at the time, and she was like, "That's because it's Dreams and Nightmares, and you love Dreams and Nightmares." I was like, "Oh, well, that's definitely it." She was like, "I told you that was gonna be it before we even asked her. But hey, well, since you knew, then you should have just went on." So anyway, that's what it's off of, Dreams and Nightmares. My boy Meek Mills. Shout out to Meek Mills. I love Meek Mills. Yep. Anyway, G, how your week been?
Oh, man, it's all good. Everything is coming together, and I can't complain. Other than
It won't do no good. It make people not want to talk to you.
right, other than the disturbance, the disturbing news I just got about these 5 black cops
Yes,
and this
in
young black man.
Memphis.
I mean, that's disturbing right there.
The crazy part is, like we were talking before we went on air, not only do we have to watch out for everybody else, now we have to watch out for us. And
Right,
like I said, the way that they did that young man is just a depiction of how they feel about themselves.
right,
You know, it's amazing how we can show all kind of restraints and everything when it comes to the other folks, and not beat them, not kill them, not step on their necks, and then they can't breathe and stuff like that, right? And not tase them and all of this stuff, and they can be high and whatever. But when it comes to us,
right,
we just gotta beat them down to the
right.
ground.
Oh, well, it seems like criminals get treated better than just regular people. I mean, I don't know what it is. Someone can just have killed somebody and be in a shootout with the cops. They determined to take him alive.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but here it is. You get pulled over in your car, you get murdered.
Yeah.
It's
That's
crazy.
crazy. And that's one of the reasons why I always said that I would never, and not to say that, if something happens or whatever, I wouldn't call the police. But that's one of the reasons why I really, really try not to call the police, because we just never know which way it's going to go.
Right,
Like you said, you get pulled over for a regular routine traffic stop, and then you end up dead. Nobody knows what happened.
right,
Um, And I have an example about that. Guys, but before we get to that, please, please, please make sure you share. Go ahead and share it. If you share the podcast and everything, let us know that you've shared it. And then let us know that you shared it. And once you let us know that you've shared it, we will kick a shout out to you. So please make sure you share. You never know who you may be helping. This information may be helping someone. Today, specifically, we want to talk about relational fitness. We talk about everything else, spiritual fitness, sexual fitness. We ain't really dove into that yet, but we talk about physical fitness. We've talked about everything. So I kind of want to tap into relational fitness today and give you guys some, from Nori's point of view, some things that you can do to help keep your girl happy. Now, we'll tap into that in a second, but I want to make sure that you share it. Please share, hit share. But my example about the police officer, me and Bree were just talking the other day. I don't know why. Give me a second. I don't know why my phone keeps doing this. Okay. So me and Bree was talking actually earlier today, and we were talking about the police had pulled me over one day, and they pulled me over right in front of my house, which was crazy. And so I was going down my street. I wasn't speeding because I was like 5 houses away. So of course, unless I'm gonna turn up in the driveway on 2 wheels, then I wasn't speeding. But I saw him when he made the U-turn and he started driving fast. So I'm looking ahead like, was it someone driving crazy or whatever? He's about to go get someone or whatever. But he pulled up behind me. So by this time I was already in front of my house, and I normally bags up into my driveway. And so I bagged up into the driveway like I normally do. And he was like, pull back out. You need to pull out. You need to pull out. And I'm just like, what is going on? And so he was like, pull out. And so I pulled back on the street. And he came over there and he got my license and stuff like that. Looked at my insurance and everything. And then he gave it back to me. And he said, why did you bag up into this driveway? And I looked at him and I was just like, because I live here? The man just dropped his head and he just walked off. Because, are you okay?
Right. Did you even look at my license?
Did you look at my license?
Right.
And Bree was like, I should have looked at my license and looked at him and looked at my license and looked at him and been like, are you having a bad day? And I was like, girl, by that time I was having a bad day, because to me, that was just crazy. But that just goes to show that people in those particular professions and stuff, where they are required to have restraint and where they're required to be on point and knowledgeable and just, be really aware that they're human and they're off sometime as well.
Right.
So when we're talking about these guys, though, these police that beat up that one guy, 5 cops had something to do with this. Beat up that one kid. I mean, mutilated his face, just killed him, right? Nobody at that time said anything. Nobody could say, hey, dude, this is enough. This is excessive force. This is like nothing.
Well, it's the same thing when George Floyd, they sat there with their cameras and watched.
Right.
At this point, it should have been an all-out riot on those streets.
I mean, everything is so, right now, people are so numb to everything.
Right.
Because everything is out in the open and we have the cameras and all of that, and you can see everything. So people are just so numb to everything right now. And I just think that that's awful. I think that that's really, really awful. It makes me sad, because of course I have a godson. And I have nephews. And so it kind of makes me sad, because I really don't want anything anything like that to happen to them,
And today you cannot say it won't.
You can't. You can't guarantee it.
Yeah, it's real dangerous times right now. And if any parent could do anything for your children, is have a discussion on how they need to react to being approached by
the
law
police.
enforcement.
Yep.
Yeah, hell, if you got to put your hands behind your back or lay down on the ground, put yourself at a place where you non-aggressive
right
to them. You know
right.
what I mean? Because this is something that's interiorly wrong. And when I look up and I see every other race of people that have a backing to their problems, I mean, one Korean was attacked and they came out with the Korean Bill of Rights right away,
Right.
and here we is, this been going on for decades and decades
Oh
and
yeah.
decades.
Forever.
And we've had a black president that hasn't even addressed, what was going on that behalf. I believe more black men and women were killed by law enforcement during the time of Obama's presidency. So it's disturbing that someone doesn't get into office and the first thing they want to look up is UFOs for real, but they don't want to look up what's going on and have an investigation through the Justice Department nationwide
Right.
on what's going on. Is there
Right.
profiling going on? Is it this? Is it that?
Of course, we know it's profiling
Right,
going on.
and they know it, but nobody has ever done anything. We don't have a civil rights bill really that protects us from anything
Correct.
like that. And
Correct.
it's just
I mean, it's awful, and it's more work to be done. And we have, a lot of a lot of the young folks that are coming up through the criminal justice and the law, in law schools and stuff like that now that are very outspoken. They're a little bit more radical, and so we never know what may happen. But we do know that greatness is inside of us, and they try to take it away from us every chance they get. And
right,
so the number one thing, like you said, we need to be having those conversations with the kids to make sure that they make it home.
right,
That's the number one thing, is you make it home. After that, we'll take care of everything else, but you make sure that you make it home. So whatever you need to do, and it's sad to say, because even if you tell them to get on the ground and put your hands up and and this and that, they'll still hit you and beat you just because they are in a position of quote unquote power at that time.
right,
So you just gotta be mindful of your surroundings, who you're dealing with, what's going on. My grandmother used to tell us, you need to be in the house by this time. And I'm like, girl, ain't nothing gonna happen. Well, you never know, and basically, if you're in the house, then you're basically safer than you're outside. And I was like, they can come in the house and get you. And she was like, yeah, but they're gonna have a hard time getting in here and getting out with you, So make
right.
sure that you're at the house.
And another thing, we have to start using our economic powers to make change happen.
Absolutely.
We
Absolutely.
have to start supporting, other businesses that seeing these things happen.
Absolutely.
I mean, all these black youths that's being killed and all those different things. Hell, they buying Nikes, they buying this, they buying that.
Right.
So you got to be able to step up for your consumers when you see something that's just outly wrong.
Right.
And we have to stop giving our economic
Power
backing,
away.
right, power,
Mhm.
right. So when things like that happen, we can sit there and have that kumbaya march. Nothing's going to change. Your
Correct.
economic stance will change things. And
Right. Right. All right, guys. Make sure you share. What's up, Buck? My boy Buck is on. You guys follow him on underscore keep it a buck. Keep it a buck.
right, and his
You
name
gotta
is
put the
Buck
little
because he got that
underscore.
money too. Yeah,
You gotta put the little underscore in the front, because it's other folks out there trying to, do some things too. But keep it a buck. He is on YouTube. So for me, today is my godson's birthday. Happy birthday, Xavier Henley. He is actually 14 years old. He couldn't wait till he got taller than me. But I had to let him know, like, listen, bro, you might need to talk to your cousin Jesse. You might need to talk to your uncle Willie, and let them know that height plays no role over here. You get out of order, I'll bring you down to my size.
yeah. Go
You know
for
what
them,
I'm saying?
go for them knees.
Go for the knees.
Yeah, it gets short.
My grandmother was short, and she used to say, I'll make you pull this chair over here and help me up in it, and I'll beat you in your head. And I'm like, who's going to help you do that? Not me, But he is 14 today. Very, very amazing dude. Very smart, very intelligent, handles his business, in church, God-fearing. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Xavier. Happy birthday to my godson. I want to, before I go into this, I want to kick a shout out to somebody that I think that is absolutely special and amazing. And people tend to talk about me as it relates to her sometime because of my arms, right? And it is Angela Bassett. All right. Angela Bassett made history in Los Angeles the other night when she won the Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress in a Film, the Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, right? She became the first performer to win a Globe in an acting category for their role in a Marvel film. So Angela Bassett, I mean, everybody know Angela Bassett. Like, what's love got to do with it, right? When she did those arms, right? And that really did something to me, right? So Angela Bassett is actually 64 years old,
And still
64
fine.
years young,
Still
excuse
fine.
me.
Still fine.
Still looks good.
Yeah.
She won't be 65 until August, actually. And at that point, I think it's 65 now. You can still collect your Social Security and all that, but she is doing some amazing things. She also just got her PhD from Yale, in which she also got her bachelor's from Yale and her master's from Yale. Her bachelor's, I believe, was in American Studies, and her bachelor's was in American Studies, and her master's was in Fine Arts. And then she just got her PhD. She already had an honorary doctorate from Yale as well. So this woman is like going and running, doing some amazing things, right? Not only that, she's of course a wife to Courtney Vance. She met him when they were in college, and she's been married to him for 25 years. She's a mother to a set of twins. She's an award-winning actress. She's just this amazing, phenomenal woman. And one thing that she said the other night was, God blessed me real good. So God blessed her really, really good, right? And I remember some of the older women in the church that we were raised up in, they used to say that a lot. God blessed me real good. And that's the desire that I have. And that was one of the reasons why I chose this particular topic today, relational fitness, right? And this is from Nori's perspective, okay? Let me give you this disclaimer. This is from my perspective. Ways that you can keep women happy. I am a woman, and I just think that some men need some help these days, okay? Because things are not right. Things are not right. Things are not balanced. I was talking to my girlfriend. She's a business strategist. She does coaching and stuff like that. And I was talking to her the other day, and I just was like, I don't understand, like, why did God make us like this and make men like this? And it seems like we can't get along, right? And so I was laying out some things, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So that is the reason why I did relational fitness today, ways to keep women happy. I'm going to do the one for men next week. If we get through these, I'll do the one for men next week, because I really do believe that women, we are lacking in some places. And again, I want to give another disclaimer. We cannot make anyone happy. We have to be happy within ourselves, right? It's not necessarily happiness either, because happiness is predicated on what is happening at that time, right? But it's almost like a peace and a joy. And you can do some things that will keep your mate, male or female, vice versa, right? That can keep them at ease, give them a little bit more peace and security and things like that. And so that's the reason why I chose this particular topic, to see someone as phenomenal as Angela Bassett in the Hollywood world and stuff like that, and knowing how all type of stigmas and all of this are out there, that, Black people can't stay together and this and that, and they tell all their business and all that. Well, Angela Bassett is Black and Courtney Vance is Black, and they are together with children in Hollywood. Both of them are successful, and they've been married now for 25 years. So it can be done if you want to do it. So it's gonna take some work on everybody's part, though. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump in. You ready, G?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And again, this is from Nori. This is my perspective. This is Noriism, okay? So, the number one thing you can do to keep your woman happy is be faithful. And I know that that may sound like, oh my God, that's so. The first thing she want to jump into is say that we're cheating and this and that. But if this is the person that you've chosen to do life with, you must always keep her at the forefront of your mind. In every decision you make, every deal, everything, you must keep her. Remember the arrangement that you and her made, the agreement. The agreement that you made with each other. You got to make sure you keep that at the forefront of your mind. It doesn't matter what she's doing or not doing. You must do your part. Okay. And if you don't like the things that she's doing or not doing, then separate. We can't make people do what we want them to do. We can only communicate the issue or the concern, right? And allow them to do something. It's no need of beating a person across their head. It's no need of arguing with them all the time and stuff. If they're not willing to make the adjustment that you're requiring, you give them a little bit of time, give them a little grace, and then you make a decision off of that, but you do your part. Even if they're not doing what they're supposed to do, we're only responsible for us and our actions, our behavior. We're only responsible for us. We can't change other people. We can't tell people how to love you. You can't tell people how to love you. You can see how people love and decide if you want to be a part of that or not. But you can't tell people how to love. That's how they love. That we learn to love from our experiences, our backgrounds, what's going on with us, right? So that's all you can do is see how they love and choose to be a participant if you want to.
Well, let me ask you a question.
I'm listening.
Do you think the problem is a lot of times we're marrying our girlfriends and boyfriends and not our soulmates? Because marriage is supposed to be forever. You don't get married to go 5 years down the road to do it again and do it again. And that's when the losses start to come in. That's when the divorces and the child separating from the parents. And, that's not what the kids signed up for. But that's what we take on, because a lot of times we're marrying our girlfriends. We're marrying our boyfriends, someone that we had a good feeling with while we were together, but then we're going where we both are not really ready to go.
Well, I think nowadays we have to even look at the fact that people don't even desire to be married anymore.
Right.
So that's something within itself. People have no desire to be married anymore. They just want to get together. They don't want, any expectations. You do these things for me because this is what you want to do. Don't do it expecting something in return. So you're asking me to lay down and be a doormat, do all of these wifely things because, the whole talk is you need to be a wife before you actually become a wife, right?
Well, that's not a soulmate.
So you need to be these particular things. So I'm doing all of this stuff, the stuff that I normally do, I'm domestic anyway, do all of these normal things or whatever, and you do nothing because you're not paying any bills because we're just girlfriend and boyfriend. We're still living in separate houses and stuff like that, right? So you're not paying any bills. You're not doing anything. Nowadays, guys don't even take you out or whatever. They want to Netflix and chill. So what are you doing? So that's one of the reasons why I say, let me try to help the guys out a little bit, because they desire to be with a woman, the ones that still desire to be with a woman. Let me put that out there. Right. Because some men don't desire to be with a woman anymore. They're saying the same thing that some of these women are saying. I don't need a man. I don't need a woman. They're saying some of the same things, in which it sounds so silly and elementary because we need each other.
Right. But
go ahead.
A lot of situations turn bitter, because I've known some guys that were good dudes. Uh-huh. They took care of their family and all that.
Absolutely.
But when that woman was tired of them, she got out of that.
Yeah.
So now he's sitting there looking like, damn, I sat there and I raised her kids.
Right.
I done this, I done that. I paid these bills and all that, and I'm getting kicked to the curb. So, and vice versa with women. Women feel the same thing. So when you have someone that you meet that has been bitterly taken advantage of, she's trying to get you first now because she feel like she didn't seen this whole scenario before. He's going to be just like these other guys. He start out nice. I've heard women say that. Oh, y'all all start out nice. See, so your mindset is already in the negative.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Maybe this guy's going to start out nice and stay nice if you do the same.
Correct.
But because she's been hurt maybe a couple of times, she's not looking to invest herself all the way in like that because she didn't seen this happen time after time after time. And that's why I say a soulmate is very important because you and a soulmate will work through things no matter how bad they are or whatever. Y'all will get through that.
Well, I mean, I'm a little bit different. I don't believe that there is just one particular person for each individual person. I don't believe that. So I'm a little bit different in that way. But that's where healing comes in at with what you were talking about.
What do you think? You say you don't think that. What do you actually think?
So with the question that you asked me as far as, soulmate or whatever the case may be, I don't think that they should be in a relationship. I think that they should be healing because if they're thinking that, oh, I'm going to get this person first before they get me, or this person started out nice and now this person is acting like this, then, and that person may not have changed anything. It could just be the way that they're perceiving it or whatever. So they need to go and get some healing, whether it be male or female. They need to go and they need to stay out of relationships or whatever for a minute because hurt people do hurt people. That's what they have to offer. Right. And so they need to stay out of a relationship.
You're walking around wounded.
You're walking around wounded. And I heard one of the preachers said like this: you're walking around bleeding on people and they're not the ones that cut you. Right. So you need to get healed. For me, I don't believe that, to answer the second question that you said, I don't believe that there's just one particular person for one particular person. When I was born with a set of ribs, right? And I understand what the Bible says that, Adam had, Eve has Adam's rib, whatever the case may be. I get all of that. I have a set of ribs myself, right? I don't believe that one person is set up for one person. They could get together. Things could be great. You could be together for 10, 15 years or whatever and everything be amazing. A life experience could happen that throws the whole thing off. And that woman or that man could try to work with that person and try to work through it and make things happen. And that person is being beat down themselves, and they decide, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and release this. And you never know what they had to go through to finally derive at that particular answer. But when they derive there, they get out and they could meet someone else that could totally be compatible and they could get along and things could be great and they could marry them and move on and live happily ever after. I don't think that there is one. It's almost 9 billion people on this earth. I don't believe that there's one person for one person.
Well,
now
I've seen
you get
people
married to that person and you work things out and you be with them and hopefully you'll be with them forever. And that could be considered a soulmate. But just because you've gotten married and then get a divorce or whatever, or you're not with that person anymore, doesn't mean that your life is over and there's no one else out there for you. I don't believe that.
How old was you when you got married?
How what?
How old was you when you got married?
Gee, I'm not fit to tell.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, were you in your 20s?
No.
You was in your 30s?
Yes.
Okay. A lot of times, people make those commitments too young.
Right.
And the fact of it is, when you get married, you got to have had everything you wanted for yourself first and foremost.
Not necessarily.
No, listen to me now. I'm older and I done been out there. And I'm just telling you on this fact, Nori, a lot of times, men and women don't understand how to share everything because some of them never had anything for themselves. See, when you had a lot for yourself, you don't mind sharing everything that you have now. Because
what about the people that have had a lot for themselves, gotten it for themselves, and they're selfish?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
They don't share.
But the fact of it is, when you get the right person, now I'm not saying, look, you got people that's sexual offenders that's going to grow old. And they still going to be sexual offenders. That's not going to change. You got to know what your substance is as a woman for you to find the right man. If you don't know your own substance, like these women, oh, these men ain't this, these men ain't that. No, the men you pick. Ain't nobody pull a gun up on you and say, you gonna be my woman. This is what you keep choosing. So when you look at yourself and see the type that you are, I've had women that said, you were difficult. You know why? Because I've had some real women in New York back in the days, and they had standards that I know that me as a man had to be on a certain level to even be in their class. See, once upon a time, if you didn't have your stuff going on, a real woman wouldn't even look at you. I don't care how good you look. She'd say, he's cute, but he ain't doing nothing. They did not pick losers. Today, losers are the most attractive thing to a lot of these women because maybe that loser looks good. Maybe he got that swag or whatever the case that they looking for. But once upon a time, we look for strong men that if something went down, they can handle it. What if you get sick today or tomorrow? Your woman shouldn't be the only winner as far as the earner in the house, because if you get sick, then what happens? This man who you say all he want to do is play PlayStation, well, you knew that when you was well. So you're going to wait till you sick and see what he's going to produce then? No, you have to pick the right type of thing for you. And that's why, as I've gotten older, Nori, I treasure that. Once upon a time, I didn't care because I looked at, man, hey, listen, women like bowling balls. I roll the ball and knock them all down. That's how I felt.
Lord help.
Yeah, I mean, but that's how I felt because they came a dime a dozen. You know, today, you treasure that companionship. You treasure.
And I think that and we can probably talk about that next week when we talk about the things that, make men happy or whatever.
Right.
But I think that that's something that we need to think about or whatever and basically talk about, because when you're younger, yes, you still have a little bit more time and a little bit more grace to do things or whatever. But when you get to be, 40, 50, 60 years old, you don't want to be by yourself. So you're going to have to make some choices, some different decisions early on in order for those things to produce later in life. So like you were saying, when you were younger, you were like a bowling ball, you're knocking them down. And now that you're older, you don't want to be by yourself.
But then the women change as I got older. So when I was
because they used to you knocking them down and they like, I don't want to be treated like that.
Well,
so I'd rather be by myself.
But a lot of the women have taken the same thing that we're doing now. They knocking the guys down. So when
because we learn from you,
right, and that's not necessarily the right thing. I can't learn from a thief.
So
and become a thief too.
You're right. So that's the reason why I'm saying I'm giving you some nori-isms on how to keep women happy. And number one was just be faithful. Okay, so we don't want to run around and be cheating and knocking them all down. Okay, so that was number one. Number two was compliment her. It's nothing wrong with saying something nice to your woman every now and then. Right now, the number one thing that's going around is talking about Sierra and Russell, right? And how he compliments her and how he's just there for her, and they're calling him a simp. Okay? You are not a simp because you cater to your woman. To be able to provide a safe space for her, to be vulnerable, to silence her insecurities and fears, to reassure her, to have the ability to calm her down when she's triggered. That's powerful. That's not a simp. It's nothing wrong with complimenting her. She will love and respect you forever when she is, especially those that are hurt or broken. Like I said, they need to go and they need to be healed and get some counseling or whatever. But when they've hurt or broken in their past or had these past experiences, and you choose to help heal her, she'll love you forever. We help heal each other. And whether we believe that or not, we do. And we need each other. Men and women need each other. I'm not saying stay and be nobody's punching bag. That is not what I'm saying. I'm not saying be nobody's doormat or anything like that. What I am saying is sometimes we have to give people grace and we have to love people through things sometimes. With that being said, it's nothing wrong with complimenting your woman. It's nothing wrong with the man. You compliment the man. Oh, I like those shoes. Those are nice shoes. You just got a haircut, didn't you? It looks really good on you.
What hole
is that cologne you got on? That smells really good.
What hole you going to see?
No. Let me tell you something about women. Let me tell you something about women that are secure women. Women that are secure women, they don't ask you stuff like that. They want their man to smell good and look good. They want you to look good. When I was married, I bought all my husband's clothes, his shoes, everything. I made his appointments for his massages to get his nails and his feet done. I did all of that. Get his hair cut and all of that. I love to see that. And yeah, if I like looking at him, I know other women gonna like looking at him too.
Yeah, but
Don't nobody want nothing that ain't nobody gonna look at.
but
Let's be honest.
But you see, you said that you did it. Did he do it?
Did he do what?
Get his hair cut and all that. Did you do it?
No, I mean he went to the appointments and stuff. I'm
When you
saying
did
I
it.
made the appointments.
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
That was part of my role.
Right, but it's his role to take.
Did he ever get his hair cut and stuff before we got married and stuff? Absolutely.
Yeah, but that's certain.
People will
things.
treat you how you treat yourself.
Well-
So if he took care of himself, of course I'm gonna continue to do that. But yeah, he got his hair cut.
Y'all like to over spoil men.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, and I
Let's
don't
go
know
with
what to tell.
spoil.
Again, this show is the Fitness by Nori show, and so this show I'm talking about Noriisms, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about me.
Yeah,
So I'm
Noriism.
gonna tell you me. My man is gonna be spoiled. He is. He's gonna be well taken care of. You want to know why? Because that's what he's gonna do for me. Because that's what I do for myself. So we're gonna outlove each other. That's what we're gonna do. You say people want to play these games and I'm gonna be mad and she gonna do this and he gonna do that and I ain't gonna talk to him and I ain't gonna give him none and all of that. No, when he mad, he gonna get some.
You gonna get
Because
some?
I don't want him to go get none from nobody else.
You gonna give him some noise?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He's gonna release all that stress and aggression.
Yo, you guys need to get up on it, man. Nori's up here.
Listen.
She giving the blueprint. You can get something even when you do bad. And
I did
she'll
not
cut
say
your
when
hair.
you do
She
bad.
gonna cut your
I
hair.
said when you're upset.
You didn't say suck your toes. You say get the toes done, right? I'm just
What? So number one was be faithful. Number two was compliment her.
That's my
Number
girl, boy.
three is you want to support her. Okay. A lot of times, especially in this culture nowadays, they're like, oh, a woman needs to be sitting at home. She needs to be barefoot and pregnant. They want the
No,
traditional
hell no.
woman. You need to be cleaning the house and doing all this stuff, right? But women are getting their own bags these days, right? And men that have no problem with women, understanding that women haven't had to be independent, not because they desire to be, but because we have to be. A lot of us didn't grow up with our fathers or that father figure, and a lot of us don't have husbands or whatever the case may be. So we have to get out there and fend for ourselves, right? And those men understand that this woman has created this or built these particular things. So I need to support her. So that's one of the things that you guys can do to keep her happy and keep her calm, right? Is support her. If she has an issue, men are known to be logical, right? If you tell a man an issue, they want to fix the problem. So women, we have to be able to communicate. Listen, I have this problem. I need your assistance with it. Listen, I have this problem. I just want you to be my sounding board, right? So they'll know what they need to do, because men want to fix the problem. They don't want all this nagging, fussing, complaining. They don't want you to keep talking about the same thing over and over again. They want to fix it, okay? So you need to be able to communicate what it is that you want. So guys, support her. If she has an issue, help her. Since y'all are fixers, help her. You're the logical one. Help her fix it. If she says that she just want a sounding board, just listen. If you can't, nowadays it's so, and you know what? I'm just gonna say it. Forget it. Listen. If you can't call him when you're having an issue, say for instance, your tire, you had a flat tire. If you can't call him because you know he's not going to answer the phone, you know he's not going to be available, you know he's not going to come and help you or whatever, or send someone over because he may be at work, right? Send someone over. If you already know these things, then why does that man know how your walls feel? Why? He should not know how you feel. He shouldn't know how you smell. He shouldn't know anything about you in that regard.
What walls?
Yeah, them walls.
Sugar
the walls
walls?
that don't fall down.
The sugar walls?
Yep. The sweet walls, the walls that take you to heaven.
Hey, you guys, y'all better get on it, because Nori's
listen.
not playing.
He should not know how none of that feel or none of that if he can't support you and you can't call him for something as simple as, even in an emotional need, right? Because that is something that a man is supposed to do as well, as far as providing for you, right? He should provide that emotional security, let you know that he wants peace, but he bringing garbage up in you, right? You can't reciprocate what you don't have. All right. If he's not giving you peace, then you're not gonna be able to reciprocate peace. That's
Right.
just stupid. So if he's not doing these particular things, if it's something simple, you should not allow him to even know you on that level. And that's just being honest. So, guys, if you want this woman to lay it out for you, then be supportive. Support her. What you need, babe? What can I do to help? Sometimes again, it's just listening, just giving her like little ideas or whatever. So come on, let's be real. So that's what I want to say about that one. Be attentive, be a listener. Ask her how she's doing. What does she need support in? Be respectful of her feelings. Spend quality time together. Validate her feelings. And the reason why I said the two, be respectful of her feelings and validate her feelings, is because sometimes you have those ones that will gaslight you. As soon as you tell them how you're feeling about something, they'll say, oh no, that must be you, or it's not like that, you're doing this, that, and the third. Wait a minute. You didn't have these problems until I started voicing my concerns. So make sure that you validate her feelings and offer her advice if she asks. All right. So number 3 was support her. Number 4 is love her. Love her. Nowadays, guys are in relationship with women that they don't even like. And it's just so that they can have sex. They don't even like them. They like they homeboys more than they like the girl. They totally disrespect her. They disregard her feelings. Come on, guys. Love her. Love her. Understand this. When a woman is voicing her concerns and saying how she feel and all of this, then she still cares. She's trying to work at it and all of that. When she goes silent, you need to know that it just took a whole lot out of her for her to go silent, because she wants to make it work. If she's still there with you, she wants to make it work. She wants to talk to you. She wants to try to work it out. Okay. If she goes silent, it's not that we don't care anymore, because clearly we do. We still care. We're not saying anything. We're probably trying to figure some things out or whatever. But if that happens too long, it's really because, why do I need to keep talking? Why do I need to keep telling you what's wrong or what I'm feeling or whatever? You're not listening anyway, or you're gaslighting me. So why do I need to keep talking to you? Why do I need to keep telling you? And eventually, once we go silent long enough, you know what I'm saying? Technically, that's the beginning of the end. Women like to talk. We like to tell you what's going on. Some of us might not communicate it correctly. Some of us might not say it like you want to hear it, but we're going to tell you, So that's when we go silent. That's kind of the beginning of the end right there. If you decide to make some changes, you're going to have to make those changes on your own, because we're not going to give you anything. We're not going to tell you anything else to do. Because we already did it. We gave you all kind of samples, examples. We, telling you we fussing, we quiet, we loud, we're whispering, we still having sex, not having sex, take it from you, give it to you. Listen, I don't play all them games. I don't. I'm very communicative. I say what it is that I desire. I allow that time to go by, whatever time it takes. If that's not happening, then I'm out.
What sign are you?
I'm a Gemini.
And she's a Gemini.
Yeah. I'm out. I love really, really hard. I'm loyal to a fault. And again, these are just ways from Noriisms, okay?
What's your favorite color?
So I have a couple. It's purple, pink, and turquoise.
I'm putting your profile together on POF.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna get you.
Don't put it on POF. Plenty of fish.
Yeah. Which one would you prefer?
Don't put it on POF. I don't know all of them that's out there, but don't put it on that one.
Yeah.
So
It's ratchet. Ain't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just trash.
Yeah, I'm gonna put
So
your profile together, because I'm really impressed with you a throwback.
I'm throwback.
You a throwback. They don't make them
Listen,
like that no more.
listen, my cousin, I'm gonna use him and his wife as an example. My cousin, of course, he was raised by my aunt, a single mom and stuff like that. But there's a precedence that's set in your house, right? There's a precedence that's set in your relationship, and it goes unsaid, right? It just kind of happens. My cousin, he makes sure, and I mean, he makes sure from the time that they were dating. It's funny because how they started, he tell us the story all the time about how he tried to help her. Something was going on with her car or whatever, and he tried to help her, and she was like, I got it. you know
Yeah.
and he was like, wow. But a couple of years or whatever, a few years went by, and they ended up connecting and stuff like that. And again, they're married now. But he makes sure that her car is maintenanced and taken care of and washed, and gas is in the car. Because that time when he met her and talked to her, of course, I think they had known each other before. But that time when he said, when she was sitting in her car and something was wrong with her car, and he said something to her, something was going on with her car. So he made sure from that point forward that nothing happens to her car. There's a precedence that kind of takes place in relationships. She's in the house, she's cooking, she washed dishes, she takes his plate and stuff like that. It's not that she necessarily have to tell him, but us as women, when we're cleaning up and stuff, we kind of want stuff done right now. So if she say, babe, can you grab the trash or whatever? He'll be like, okay. It's not that he have to hop up right now and go and get that trash then and take it out to the back. He don't have to do that right then and there, right? She knows that he's going to get it. But guess what? He does it right then because he knows she wants her kitchen clean. Like, it's just a precedent, and it's just having care, concern, and compassion for the other person. It's not always about you. I was talking to this guy here recently, and that's what he told me. I want to basically be able to do nothing. And I want the woman to do everything for me that she wants to do. Now, if I decide to do something, then that's on me. And I understand that because both people have a decision to make, right? But let's be honest, there are expectations in a relationship. I have an expectation that my man is going to protect me. I have an expectation that if we're out and we're doing something, that he ain't gonna let no dude just run up and start cussing me out and all up in my face and stuff. There's an expectation. Let's be real. So listen, loving her is making sure that you need to find out, pay attention to your woman. We give signs, we give clues. People say we talk too much. We tell you, we give you the blueprint. So if she wants something as simple as the trash taken out now that the kitchen is clean, it ain't gonna take you a minute to take that trash out and then get back to doing whatever you're doing. Again, guys, relationships are not hard. We make them hard. Okay? So, number 4 was love her. Number 5, listen to her.
Is she talking right?
Listen to her. A lot of times men say, oh, they talk too much.
Yeah,
they
they
talk too much. Well, she's talking for a couple of reasons. She wants you to know about her. She wants to tell you about her. A lot of times women talk when they're excited, when they're happy. We're chatty, That means we're happy to be around you. We want to talk to you. We want to tell you about our day and what's going on with us, And then we also tell you when we have a problem, when there's a concern, when something needs tending to. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that there's a time and a place for everything. I understand that you don't tell a man crazy stuff as soon as he hit the door and come in from work. But listen, a lot of times women and men are not even staying together these days. You live in your place, I live in my place. I don't know when is a good time or a bad time, so you need to ask.
Well, should you set meetings?
Is it you can ask. Hey, I want to talk to you about something. Is right now a good time? I talked to I talked to one of my friends and I was like, hey, I want to ask you a question. Is right now a good time? Oh, God damn. Wait a minute. Oh, shit. Wait. I was like, hold on. Wait a minute. I didn't say anything was bad. I just want to ask a question. You know, that makes us say, never mind. Don't worry about it.
Right, because he jumped the gun
Yeah.
for no reason at all. But I'm saying, when you get with someone, would it be a good time that y'all have a talk to each other day? Like, just like, how girls have that day out, a girl's day out.
Mhm.
Shouldn't it be like a just a day out just for us, to just talk and you know what I mean? Because
Absolutely.
even if you going out and you having good times, that still ain't talking. Y'all just out there enjoying yourself.
Absolutely.
It should be an airing out day. If something went on throughout the week that you really wasn't happy, maybe, hey, baby, I didn't like that day when you blah, 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 blah.
So when my spiritual mother and father, they get, they counsel us all the time about different things and stuff that they continue to learn. And one of the things that they taught us about was a thing called the mini haircut.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, you want to be able to voice an opinion. You don't want to argue about it or whatever the case may be, but you want to be able to get it off so that it doesn't blow up in your head to where it's really, really big. And so when they come in or whatever, you ask them, hey, and you call it by his name. You like, hey, I want a mini haircut. Are you available for that right now? Now, one of two things can happen. They could say, yes, I'm available for that mini haircut. And then you go ahead and you say what it is you got to say. You don't go in and jug them and turn the knife. You say what you got to say and you move on. That gives them time to think about it, process it. Then you come back and you talk about it later, right? That's why it's called a mini haircut, right? So it's so that you don't blow up. The other thing that could happen is they could say, no. Hey, babe, I really want to talk to you about something. Is right now a good time for a mini haircut? No, it's not. So at that point, you need to exercise some discipline and some restraint, and you need to hold that off, and you need to get yourself together because they have been communicative enough to tell you, no, it's not a good time. So if you go ahead and you lay that on them and they flip out, then that's on you. They're telling you, no, it's not a good time for a reason. They may be going through something. They may be dealing with something at work. They may be having a problem. They may need you to help soothe them, So you're going to have to exercise some discipline. In a relationship, it's not all one-sided.
Right.
And that's the problem. It's not all one-sided. That's why I said before it even got there, I'm going to come back and do the nori-isms for him next week, the things to keep him happy. Okay? Because I already know that what are you talking about her? What about him? And women, if you don't know, I'll save it for next week. Because if you don't know that the man needs to be happy in order for you to stay happy, then there's something wrong with that. We'll talk about it next week.
Well, let's just try to get people to get the right person for you. Because if you got a person that don't appreciate...
There is no right or wrong person.
Well, I'm just saying, if I go in and I meet a woman, and that woman is disrespectful, she don't appreciate nothing, that's the wrong one. Simple as that. We can't say where it's going to go. You could have the best man you ever had in your life, and that don't mean y'all going to be together forever. But I'm just saying, you will have better memories than you will have bad memories about your situation. Y'all just grew apart.
Right.
But the fact is, you got to go. I mean, will you go to a brain surgeon to fix your car? No. You see, you out of the league of what you really need. So if you desiring respect, you have to make sure that man that you meet can attain that for you. Otherwise, you're going right back down the wrong road because you're going to run to a guy that is not going to care. And the disrespect comes. The disrespect comes that if I know that I have to do something to enhance our relationship because it's been stale lately, but I choose not to.
Correct.
I don't care.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is get with someone that care, and then you will know what's best for you. If you shade yourself in people that's disrespectful to you, you will never know what you deserve because you keep getting that same thing. So you will never know what it feels like to be with someone that really want to treat you like that queen. Right. Because you keep choosing cats that want to be happy for themselves.
Correct.
And you got guys that will screw a girl that live in the same complex as you. That's
of course
ultimately disrespectful.
Right. But that's the that's why we said listen to her. You need to pay attention. You need, and when I say listen to her, I'm not just saying listen to her and the words that are coming out of our mouth or whatever, because there's a very, very high percentage of our body language and stuff like that. Those things are nonverbal. So you need to pay attention to your woman. Adrian said, if I'm completely silent, I'm already gone. I'm just playing chess, not
Who
checkers,
said that?
and being strategic on my exit. Adrian
Adrian.
Nicole. Hey, Adrian. Hey, Jimmy. So yeah, she says she's being strategic on her exit. And that's normally what it is. When we're silent, we're like, he don't care anyway. He not trying to do nothing. Let me figure out what I'm gonna do. Like, do I keep pushing forward? Do I continue to give him grace? Like, we're wrestling with all of these things in our mind. And when we actually leave, then it's really kind of tough to get us back, because we already gone.
You want your man to be happy, give him competition. If he know he's the only one and there's no competition, you ever broke up with a guy and you met someone else, and this guy that you broke up with, you can't get rid of him now? He just want to get back with you so bad he's willing to do anything?
Oh, yeah.
Man, competition healthy. When I had multiple women, my women were good. When I decided to deal with one, that's when the hell came in.
Well, that leads us to number 6, which is respect her. So on this particular show right here, this Fitness by Nori show, this is Nori-isms. And we ain't talking about, my number 1 was be faithful. Okay. So we're not going to talk about that. Keep that to yourself till next week. Okay. So respect her.
So it's going to be the next week, it's going to be the men.
Yeah.
So you telling me to hold it for what the men want.
Yeah. I mean, if y'all want to do that, then that's on y'all. Right now, this is where we at.
Think like a man.
Respect her, okay? Don't do nothing to her that you don't want a man to do to your mama, your sisters, or your daughters.
That sounds good.
Again, don't do nothing to her that you don't want a man to do to your mama, your sisters, or your daughters. Okay, so if you see homeboy running around here and he was with old girl yesterday, but he laid up at your mom and them house talking to your sister, you're gonna be like, say, dude, wait, I thought you was talking to old girl over here. You not finna drag my sister like that. You not finna do my mama like that. And doggone it, I know these doggone men sure ain't finna let you do their daughters like that. That's men that are protective of their seeds, their lineage, their heritage, right? There's people that's protective of them.
But then we talk about
because we got some men that's not like that.
We talk about an HOE ass man.
Yeah, again, I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
So
yeah.
But that's why you always, again, you want to respect her. You always want to honor her. You guys, believe it or not, you will need a woman until the day you die. And I don't care what you say, how you feel about it, you're going to need a woman. And a lot of guys be like, oh, basically I was listening to this one podcast and dude was basically saying that there is no need for a woman on this earth other than to procreate. Like they ain't supposed to be doing this. They ain't supposed to be doing that. We're not supposed to be doing a lot of things, but some things we have no choice but to do because we have to cover ourselves.
But you can't make sense with senseless people.
Correct.
Those niggas are stupid.
Correct.
I mean, so I don't even sit there and talk to stupid ass niggas.
One thing that and Buck is on here or whatever, one thing he said to me one time before we was having a conversation, he was like, you can't beat a loser being a loser. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He a loser.
See, it's certain cats that couldn't even hang with us because you're talking stupid. You don't need a woman.
Right.
Then he must have other alternatives to how he get down.
Exactly. But understand this, women, we are women that are tapped in and they know who they are and they know their value and they know what they bring to the table. They understand that we have the ear of God, okay? And I'll run and tell it on you. I ain't gonna even lie. I will. I will run and tell it, and my heart will be healed and mended, and I will walk right on out the door, and you'll be like, "What happened?" Because I done went and told it, because I know I'm not supposed to be treated like that, right?
Right.
And so that's why, I mean, for me, I don't get treated like that, and not just by men, but by women too, because I don't treat men, or I don't treat people bad. I treat people how I want to be treated. We was taught that when we were young. Treat people how you want to be treated. And that is exactly what I do. I don't curse people out and talk to them crazy and treat them rude and all of that. And I don't expect for that to happen to me. And if it does, then I will not be there, because I will not be in a position where I am not appreciated.
Right.
So, that's simple as that. If you have a woman that, that you all have agreed on something, then allow that to work for you. You all have to wash each other's hands. Y'all have to work together. So respect her. If she cook and you decide to clean, if you cook, she decide to clean, like whatever that agreement is, but you can't expect for the woman to help you pay half the bills, meaning go and get a job or whatever, and you be like, oh, she can get a job and she can buy all her own clothes and hair and this and that, right? That is a man's job as well, because she's supposed to have somewhere to come into. And when she came to you, she was not famished, she was eating. When she came to you, she was not naked, she had on clothes. So these are things that you're supposed to take care of if this is the woman that you want to be with. Now, if she has to work as well, then you guys are going to have to come to an agreement. It's not a traditional relationship. So you guys are going to have to share some responsibilities. It's just simple as that. Respect her, make her feel secure. And I've already touched on that a little bit. Not just physically, yeah, you can bust her down and knock her back in and all of this, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, financially, sexually. Let her know that it's gonna be okay. I got you, and women, we do our part as well. Again, I'll talk about it next week, but you need to make sure it's no way that she is going to be able to provide, again, that level of peace that you're looking for, so that you can feel safe in your own house, so that you can feel secure yourself in your own house, so that you can be creative and you can come up with these different ways to provide, for her and stuff like that, when you're just dumping a whole bunch of chaos on her. It just doesn't make sense. It's not going to translate. Okay. So you bring the peace and she will double it up for you. How about that? For me, I don't deal with all of that. My man he come in for work. I make sure that there's a space for him to be able to decompress, to leave all that mess on the outside, whatever. If he wants to talk to me, I ask, do you want me to be a sounding board or you want me to give some advice? And he'll say, I want you to just be a sounding board. Baby, them the best conversations. I can sit there and listen or don't listen, okay? I will sit there and be quiet. I will rub your feet while you in the tub and you talking and you doing your thing. You need anything, I'll go and grab your beer or whatever. I'll be right back. Come like, whoo, Lord, this man going through a lot. Tell me what to do. Show me what to say. Like, whatever. Come back, sitting there. He's doing his thing, still talking and whatever. That I don't have no problem with stuff like that. Making sure that he's taken care of, because he's making sure that I'm taken care of. If you you telling me about all the stuff you got going on outside or whatever, because you messing with 19 different women, and then one of the women's boyfriend and came and said something to you and this, and I don't want to hear that. I don't care. So that means that you done brought all this junk on me. Leave me alone. How about that? Feel free. Go out there. You need to make her feel secure. Let her know that everything's going to be okay. So she doesn't have to stress. She doesn't have to worry. Okay? Don't take her for granted. Don't take her for granted. The word tells us, how can two walk together lest we agree? So you're going to have to find a place of agreement. Okay? Don't take her for granted. No one is perfect. And you will not always agree on everything. But don't take a woman for granted, because We can feel it. We know when you're doing it. We may not say anything and we may not do anything right away, but we can feel it and we know it. We'll try to talk about it first. And if you're not trying to do nothing about it, then we do something about it because we know when we're being taken advantage of. So make sure you're mindful of that. Okay. Be consistent. Even in physical fitness, we talk about consistency is key. Be consistent. And women, understand that there are men that can be consistently bad or consistently wrong. Okay. But make sure that he's consistent in the things that he's doing. He's consistent in, communicating with you. He's consistent in giving you, supporting you. He's consistent in giving you compliments. He's consistent in respecting you. Those things will translate all day, every day. In math, 1 + 1 = 2. It'll translate each time. Watch his level of consistency. I was talking to my friend the other day. She's the business strategist, the one I was telling you about, the coach. I was talking to her the other day, and we was talking about a little bit of consistency as well. And she was like, red flags are red flags, and they can be consistent with those red flags, right? But they might not be as bad to you because you're familiar with those. So be mindful of the things that you keep throwing out there, guys. Be mindful of that because women they see that you're being consistently ugly, right? You're being consistently rude. You're being mean and ugly to them consistently. And it's not gonna translate. It's not gonna work well. I was in a situation when I needed a woman, but she was planning her exit. Playing chess isn't fair in a relationship. That was Jimmy. Well, Jimmy, she was playing chess for a reason. So maybe you weren't being consistent, or maybe you were being consistently bad or rude or ugly or something.
Or maybe it was her fault.
Maybe it was her fault.
Don't just put it on Jimmy. Jimmy
said that she was planning her exit.
Right.
So therefore, something was going on.
Well, she could have met another guy she liked more. I mean, today people don't care about why they leave your ass. They just leave. You know.
I mean,
you could be good.
But let's be honest, G. Like most of the time, women, and I don't care, even in this culture now, most of the time, women, because we desire to be in a relationship, we will stay with you and stick in there or whatever. And some women are learning to cheat and do those things from the men that they're with. So let's just be real with it.
Well, I know some guys that didn't cheat, and their women did. You know what I mean? So a lot of times your women talk to each other.
It can go both ways.
Right.
It can go both ways. However, this is again, I have to keep warning you. The fitness by Nori,
I know, but
Nori-isms,
I understand that.
I have to keep letting you know
I
this show
understand
today.
that, but we can't just let you walk off and just say, like, it's always guys. This woman out here that's bad too.
I didn't say it was always guys, but the show
Jimmy,
today
I love you, Jimmy.
is
Jimmy,
about that.
Jimmy, I love you. Forget that. You wasn't wrong, bro. Forget that. I got to stick up for us.
You don't even know what happened.
That's all right.
He just gave you a little blur.
Jimmy doesn't sound like a bad guy, so I'm gonna put it on his woman. She ain't nothing.
I'm done. I'm done.
Name like Jimmy doesn't sound like a dude that's like, now if his name is Saquon or something like that, then yeah, it's subject to. Yeah, Jimmy's a good guy.
We were gonna talk about the men next week. So now every time you say something next week, I'm gonna be like, but he did it.
Yeah,
but he could have been it.
But you know something? That's good. It's healthy.
No,
we
it's
need
not.
We need to. Nori, listen. We know you almost like you almost like the Virgin Mary reborn.
I'm not a Virgin Mary.
No, I'm just saying.
Nor am I reborn.
That's what I'm saying. You've been chilling for a while. You kind of rusty. You like a
what?
You a calypso thing.
G, you only know about me on this show.
So you be doing it like that?
You don't know nothing about me.
Oh, sucky. Yeah, damn. The one you always be giving tips. Get your sex right. exercise, because you don't like no weak stuff, huh? So
Well, this is true. Look,
God,
let me cut that laugh off. I don't.
God got to come in like Hercules because she be. I
Well, I
didn't.
don't know nothing about all that. I
No,
don't
but
want to be broke all up. Like,
you
wait a minute.
you like my
So,
little sister. I don't want to see thinking like no nasty things. That's like a dude.
oh my
You never
God.
want to think of your mother doing anything nasty. That's
What?
like
How you
no.
think you got here?
Yeah, but I mean, still the same. It's just you just don't want to. I remember I was dating a girl and her little son. Get away from my mama. This dude just does not want nobody near his mama. You don't know your mama's a freak. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, hell you doing, boy? But that's just the way it is. Kids, I mean, daddy, you can get away with daddy moving around and messing around, but your mama, nah.
Dude, I think about that TikTok when he was like, get away from my mom. Why? And then that little boy, he was like hitting the dude that was in there asleep with the broom.
Yeah.
And the dude done snatched the broom and popped the kid. He was like, ah.
Yeah, but that's the way it is.
crazy.
You just never picture your mother, nah.
And the final thing that I wanted to say is communicate with her. Verbal communication is important to get to know who people really are. You learn people through communication. I was just talking to someone about that before I got the car, when I got to the station. When a man talks to a woman, you learn her likes, her dislikes, how she deals with situations. Women like to talk, and this, if you notice, these are some of the things that I've been saying. Communicate with her, listen to her, stuff like that. Women like to talk, and she will tell you all of her desires, her wishes, her hopes, her dreams. She will give you the blueprint, the cheat code. She will give it to you. Communicate with her. Communication helps you also with conflict resolution. You have to learn to deal with conflict because it's gonna happen. You're two different people. It's gonna happen. But if you don't ever learn to communicate, then you're not gonna be able to deal with conflict. And when the conflict happens, it's gonna be like, oh, well, I just won't say nothing about that.
Yeah.
And then that's gonna be a brick. And then I won't say nothing about that. And then that's gonna be, then after a while, you're gonna have this lump under your rug that you're gonna trip over. And then after a while, you just gonna start building bricks on that or whatever, and it's gonna mess around and be a brick wall. Right?
City.
So between the two of you, it's gonna be really, really cold. And it's over time, it's gonna be a little different and stuffy and difficult to talk or whatever. And that's how relationships end up breaking up and stuff like that, and people go their separate ways because they never learn how to deal with conflict. So don't allow your woman to shut down. Allow her to talk and let you know what's going on, because she will tell you. She'll give you the cheat code. Understand that communication takes maturity. It really does. It takes maturity to sit down and talk it out. And especially when it's something that, you guys don't want to hear, or something that you don't agree on or whatever. It takes maturity to sit down and come to a common place and find clarity and peace to know that you both are there for the greater good of the team. You are on the same team. And that's something that you have to constantly remind yourself. I'm not going to battle with Goliath. This person is on my team. I love her. I love him. So we don't need to be fighting like this. Let's try to find some common ground. Sometimes, G just said it just a while ago, sometimes people are insistent on misunderstanding you. They're insistent on misunderstanding you or trying to confuse you because they confused, hell, and they want you to keep hanging on and whatever the mess might be. You have to know yourself enough to know that it's time to let go. Okay?
Let it go.
It's time to let it go. Sometimes you got to let it go.
Let it go.
Looks like another love TKO.
It looks like a TKO. Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? I mean, just all I could tell people is pray on it.
I mean, so to wrap it up, hopefully you guys shared this and put this out there so that people can know. To wrap it up, a couple of relationship tips. Focus on becoming the best version of you. Focus on becoming the best version of you. Go and get healed. Go seek counseling. Find out those childhood traumas that you need to have healed. Understand what you like and what you don't like. And in order to do that, you have to get out there and do some things. Go to the mall, try on shoes, go to the store by yourself, go to the movies by yourself, go out and eat by yourself. Find out the things that you like to do. Learn to love yourself before trying to love someone else. People will treat you how you treat yourself. And if you don't treat yourself well, then that's low-hanging fruit. They'll grab that, they'll misuse it and abuse it, and they'll keep it moving. Okay? So learn to love you before you try to love someone else. Learn to communicate your needs and your desires. The only way you're going to know that is if you get out there and figure them out. Learn to communicate what you need and what you desire. A relationship can only grow if you nurture it and you water it like a plant. It's a living, breathing thing, a relationship is. And you have to work on it, and you have to massage it, and you just have to nurture it. You have to care for it. So you have to put in some work. Remember that your exes are an ex for a reason. Leave them alone. Leave them right where they are. Okay? And relationships finally are not 50-50. They are 100-100. All right? It's 100% of you coming together with 100% of them. If you are not 100%, go to counseling. Go get you some help. Go and lay on somebody's couch. Go and write in you a notebook. Go and talk to somebody. Become the best version of you so that you can be even greater in the relationship that you are. That's all I have for today. Hopefully you guys shared it. These ways for men to keep women happy. Hopefully this helped you guys. And hopefully we won't have too much of a battle next week when we talk about keeping men
it's going
happy.
down. It's going down because I can tell you everything.
Oh my God. All right, guys. I'm your girl, Miss Butterfly Beast of Fitness by Nori.
Hey, wait a minute. For you log off, you know what I'm saying? You ain't saying nothing about the workout place now. I understand you trying to get these relationships right, but we need to talk about what's going on at the Soto Recreation Center and how they can get to you.
I want them to bring they boyfriends and their girlfriends and everything to the fitness class. I do. And I want them to be happy. Last night, wait a minute, G, I'm glad that you said something about that. Last night, we was doing like these pelvic thrusts and we was doing these different exercises. And then the next set.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, the next set
pelvic?
of exercises was like some pelvic thrusts too, but you was on your hands and you was on your feet, right? And they was just like, wait a minute, you was trying to do something else. And I went live on those particular ones as well. And they was like, what is going on with you? What are you trying to do? And so I had to let them know, when you work on your abs and you work on your quads and stuff like that, your abs help with the pelvic floor. You want to make sure that you keep your girl and, tight and right. You
want to stomach get tight and your
you want to do your Kegels and all of that.
Your thing get flabby and your stomach is tight.
So anyways, and so even with men, when it's too much, like when you're heavy and you're fatter, then the pelvic floor relaxes and, you lose some inches.
Right.
So
I'm just getting mine back.
Yeah, so I'm letting you know, like, these exercises and stuff, they really help. But it was really funny how they talked about me last night when I was doing these particular exercises and had them doing these exercises. It was like, what are you doing? What are you trying to get us ready for? I'm trying to get y'all ready for some women and some men. You hear me? Y'all, some of us need to be married up in here.
Is there single women over there?
Oh, there are single women in my class. Yes.
So it's pelvic Thursdays, right?
There are single men as well.
It's pelvic Thursdays, right?
Thrusting Thursdays.
Thrusting Thursdays. I'll be there Thursday. Ladies, I'll be there.
No.
If you want a guy that's semi out of shape, that's working on it, I'll be there.
Well, gee, you've lost a lot of weight so far.
Yeah, ladies.
I mean, just in those 3-4 weeks that you haven't been doing the sodas and you've been eating every 2 to 3 hours. Listen.
Well, let me stretch and get my inches back, and then I'll be there.
Yeah, you gotta fix that pelvic floor, right?
Yeah, let me stretch it and get my inches back, and I'll be right there.
Well, guys, if you are looking for a fun family environment,
Yes.
No mess, just having fun. And
That's right.
we rocks it over there. Okay. We're at the DeSoto Recreation Center at 211 East Pleasant Run Road in DeSoto, Texas. I'm there Monday through Thursday at 5 a.m. and Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m.
I got the banner up right now.
You got it up? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And then we're there on Saturdays at 7 a.m. for circuit and 8 a.m. for hit. So listen, and I believe in a quality of life too. So that's why in class, I do different stuff like pelvic thrust, get you ready for that. I do line dances. You know, I teach a line dance or two, you know, so that when you're out and stuff, when you're going out by yourself, learning what you like, and some of the songs come on, you can do a couple of these dances and stuff like that, and people will approach you and stuff. So I do believe in a quality of life and stuff, and we crack jokes and we have fun. So if you want to get down with the get down, while you keeping your health and wellness goals at the forefront of your mind, come on and try Fitness by Nori at the DeSoto Recreation Center. I look forward to serving you.
No doubt.
I'm your girl, Miss Butterfly Beast. Thank you to my co-host, G.
Oh, no doubt.
And we are out.